Melanie and Jared. My name's Melanie.
My name's Jared.
And so a lot of you guys have been asking a lot of questions about Jared and his whole brain tumor process, and so we just wanted to bring this video to kind of talk about just between the two of us and share with you guys what's going on. Jared, what was the first moment you kind of started to sense something was wrong or different?
The first moment was back in, I think, December 20th, I want to say. And I started experiencing double vision when I was driving on the road. So at first you think maybe it's just my glasses, because I had new glasses. And maybe it's the light, maybe it's something with the light, messing with my eyes. And it turns out I went to the eye doctor and that wasn't the case. It wasn't with the glasses, it wasn't with my eyes. Well, at least the eyes were questionable at that point. So we ended up going to another doctor, getting referred to another doctor, and went to that appointment, and it turns out that I needed an MRI on my brain. So we ended up going to an MRI scan, and that's when I found out that I actually had a tumor inside my head.
So did the doctor know immediately that there was something wrong, or that there potentially could be a brain tumor to the eye doctor?
To the eye doctor, maybe not, but to the eye specialist, he was thinking maybe something could be wrong in there. But I think he also just wanted to see what was going on with the eyes in general, figure out, you can't see obviously on the outside what's going on the inside. So he wanted to make sure and rule out any implications.
And so what were you feeling? When you were in the eye doctor and you found out, or you were seeing the double vision for the first time, what were you feeling when you got those?
When I started experiencing the double vision for the first time, I first thought I was going a little crazy, but you usually don't see double vision, so I thought I was going a little bit crazy, but it turns out that, I was experiencing this, so I obviously needed to get it fixed. When you have a problem, you get it fixed. It's a little different than a broken bone, but when you have a broken bone, you try to get that fixed immediately, and so this, in my case, I have a problem, I need to fix it, so.
Yeah, so then when you went and got the MRI, talk to us about that experience, because that was the first time you ever had an MRI.
Yes.
And then you were kind of scared, what are they going to find out? So what was your emotions going through that?
Obviously when it's your first time for anything, you're a little bit scared. And the MRI machine, let's say they're kind of scary looking, but obviously the doctors were very good and they talked you through it. It helps that I have family members that have been through that already, so they kind of talked me through and calmed those fears. So I did have a little bit of a tense because you don't know what's going to happen, what they're going to find out, but at first I just thought it was going to be a problem with my eyes in general, my eye muscles, not actually a tumor inside my head.
Yeah. So then how did you find out that you had a tumor? Who told you? What was that whole experience like?
So yeah, it was the MRI report. So they give you a report after you take an MRI, and obviously that has a gist of what happened and what's inside your brain and what's going on. So anything that looks wrong, they'll report on that. And so in that report, it had described that I had a brain tumor or some sort of lesion inside my head, I want to say, or something like that.
Just as a disclaimer, we are not medical professionals, so we just do what we like.
Yeah. So it turned out I had something inside my brain and inside my pineal area, my pineal gland. That's in my head, by the way. It's not anywhere else, in case you guys are wondering. But I had a pineal tumor, so a pineal mass is what they called it, I think. And basically that was on the report, and then the doctor ended up calling us up and saying, hey, you have something in your head. He was a little worried at first, but then once he knew we actually already found out, his fears were calmed. But then that's when we got referred to another doctor.
So where was your mind when you found out I have a brain tumor?
I don't know. I think I immediately went to more of a, obviously there's a little bit of a fear, I guess. But also, I think I went to God, in that situation. Because obviously, I lived most of my life I like to say on fire for the Lord. And that's one thing I kind of went to was God. But obviously, in that same sense, I was a little bit fearful. So, obviously, if you find out you have a tumor inside your head, it's not an easy thing to go through. You don't know if it's cancerous, you don't know if it's benign, you don't know what's going on there. So, answers is what I wanted, answers, more information. So.
Well, I think it's important to note too, you're 21 years old, so no one expects to get told I have a brain tumor when you're 21 years old. And so, yeah, you went to God, and then what happened after that? Kind of the next processes.
So the next process was basically I wanted information, anything I could get on this tumor. What was it? Was it cancerous? And I didn't get those answers right away. You know, I had to go through different steps and different doctors, lots of different doctors, and lots of different referrals. So it was a long waiting period, and I feel like that's sometimes the worst part of things, is waiting on the Lord, waiting on answers, waiting. I mean, in our culture, I feel like nowadays we don't like to wait. We don't like to have to sit and wait for something. I mean, we have stores, we have pickup, we have 2-day delivery for a reason. It's because people don't like to wait. And when you have to wait, I think it actually increases your faith a lot in the Lord. I think it increased my faith personally a lot, and I feel stronger, you know, having to wait.
So let's just go with that before we take a quick break. I think when you say wait, how long of a period was that? And like, how did you, because like some of them that might be watching the video might think like, I'm in a season of waiting, and that's really, really hard, because us in America, like you mentioned, are like used to getting things really, really fast. But what would you say like to someone else? So how did you do it, and then how would you encourage someone else to be in that season of waiting?
Season of waiting. Yeah, I think pray a lot. I think prayer is very important. I never really had, hate to say it, but a strong prayer life. I feel like it was okay, but you know, it wasn't strong. I didn't pray for everything, and I felt like that started to become more in my character, I think, and increased in my prayer life, to where when I was experiencing different things, different symptoms, headaches, I just started praying a lot, you know, dealing with this situation. It's just lots of prayer. And I think another thing that really helps is talking to people, finding people that can relate to something, or maybe they can't relate to something like that, but they know and they understand you personally. And I think that's important. They understand God, obviously. It's very important, strong in the Lord. And I think just talking through, not being scared to talk about things, like that you are scared, that you are nervous about this thing. Talk to God, find someone that you can communicate that to as well. I think it's very important.
Yeah, so how long of a period was that you had to wait?
I want to say, it depends. I mean, there was a couple months, and then there was even more months. So I want to say maybe about 3-4 months, maybe, roughly.
Yeah, and I think it's so important to share that, because I think so many times we think, oh, God's trying to get our attention, and so the waiting, if I just wait a few weeks or a few days, or, you know, like for us, that's a long time, but sometimes God doesn't answer that right away, or the way that we want to answer it, or have it answered. So I think it's just really important to know, and I hope that's encouraging to all of you, in knowing that being patient and waiting on God is not a passive thing, but it's an active thing. And as we grow and mature into what God wants us to be, that's not necessarily ever get the answer we want, but it's to have the peace of mind, to have to be still before the Lord. So be ready, stay tuned for part 2. I will include that soon, and I'll give you guys all the recent update that we just got. So thanks for watching. Bye.